Kenny Wallace is pure racing spirit. A NASCAR legend who still thrills on dirt, he brings joy, energy, and love to every corner of the sport. Sebastian Wheldon is carving out his own legacy. With the heart of a champion and the Wheldon name, he's blazing a path in open-wheel racing.
Hi, I am race car driver Kenny Wallace. I've raced in NASCAR my whole life, and now I'm racing dirt cars throughout the United States.
Hello, I'm Sebastian Wheldon, and I race European Formula 4.
I've got to ask you about racing in Europe. What is it like just in, Europe and Formula 4 and Abu Dhabi? What's that feel like? Living in America and then over there.
Everything over there is so much different from America, and like all the people there are also different, and it's just like I'm so grateful that I could be racing over there.
Yeah. You guys would call us taxi cab racers. Do you know that yet?
No.
The IndyCar guys over here, years ago, probably 50 years ago, we had this internal rivalry. Like, we love each other, but they're like, oh, those taxi cab racers, because our cars are like cars. And so, taxi cabs, they were making fun of us.
Oh, okay.
But you're young. Do you ever watch any NASCAR?
The only movie, I've seen movies of it, like Talladega Nights. That's a pretty good movie.
I love this. This is great.
Talladega Nights, but I don't really watch any of the races like on TV. I need to start watching them.
I've heard that like you score extremely high, like in the top of the whole United States. Tell me about your gaming, like iRacing.
Yes, so iRacing, I am 10,000 iRating. That's like not many people have that, and I'd say I'm probably about like 0.1% of people in the whole game.
That is awesome.
Whenever I'm not racing and whenever I'm home, I'm always on my sim. So you started years ago in racing, obviously, but was there ever like simulator training as well like there is today?
So let me tell you how that started. Years ago, NASCAR would come out with these video games. And because I raced in NASCAR, I wasn't horrible, I wasn't great, but I was good. And I would have these kids come up to me and they go, hey, I chose you in the game. So, like when you're setting up a game, a fun game, not sim. And then not years later, sim came, like real racing. These big video game makers, they chose video game drivers, and they finished 1, 2, 3 at the 24-hour Le Mans. No, they finished third, they were podium. So that's the moment we watched it switch. Like these guys that are playing this video game, they podiumed at Le Mans. They finished third.
Yeah.
And it was unreal. I wished I could have learned off sim. And all the NASCAR drivers nowadays, they go, yeah, I ran sim before I came to this racetrack. Tell me what you've learned off of sim and how you use it.
So say I'm like headed to a racetrack that I've never been to before. I'll start maybe in my home sim that I have in my room to like learn the layout of the track. I mean, I'm just a really big fan of iRacing myself, just with how all the physics and stuff work. Like, you have other games as well, but I feel like iRacing has done it very well. But like, I'll take the time to learn the track, the car, and also learn more about like setup, because you can adjust your setup as well. Like I take it like, oh, what does this change to? Oh, what does that change to, And then when I go to my team sim over in Europe, it's like you have the full motion and everything. You really get to feel how the track is, or like if there's like a crack in the road, you can really feel it. I'm very interested because I didn't know who Tony Stewart was.
T-Stu. The way I can explain it to you is you're an open wheel racer.
Yeah.
And open wheel racing is over here and NASCAR's over here. It's complete different disciplines. So like when you saw a racetrack that was high banked, you're like, wow, I've never seen a racetrack at that bank. And I thought, oh my gosh, Sebastian just basically learning on flat road courses,
yeah,
things like that. So here's the thing with Tony Stewart. Tony started in the IndyCar League, and he won some races in IndyCar. And then he came to NASCAR. And then he's an incredible dirt racer. That's everything AJ Foyt did. So Tony Stewart is one of our greatest talents of all time. And anytime people talk about Tony Stewart, they think about AJ Foyt.
Yeah.
Because they're similar, It means they don't put up with no crap. They'll give it right back to you verbally. They're tough guys, but they win.
If you could race like any race like in your whole life, besides like any like NASCAR races, what would you do? Like Monaco, IndyCar, Indy 500, maybe the Rolex 24.
You said the one that I'm fascinated with is Monaco.
Yeah.
So my fascination with Monaco is probably way different than you would think. Years ago, we had these movies called James Bond movies. In the movies, he's in Monaco, and he's at the casinos, and so I'm like, oh, I want to go to Monaco one day. And then, you know, I grew up in racing, and it's like, wait, they race in the city of Monaco? So it's like James Bond movie, Monaco, race around the fountain. And then I talked to Juan Pablo Montoya, and he told me that when you go around the fountain, you're like, you're full lock.
Yeah.
And have you run Monaco?
I've done it like on the sim, but never like.
It's probably the same. So yeah, Monaco's where I want to go. Even if I'm in a pace car, I want to run it in a pace car. You asked me about open wheel stuff, so I'll give you choices. Would you rather run the Daytona 500 or Bristol Motor Speedway?
Probably, I'd have to say Daytona, just because it's like a flat out, everyone's all together, you're bumping, you're like,
oh yeah,
you're moving each other out of the way. I'd probably Daytona.
When I was first starting racing, my big brother Rusty Wallace is a champion, he's great. And he taught me a lot of things about racing that kind of changed the way I go about it. For example, I would go in the corner a little hard and I'd let the car slide up. And he said to me, make your car stay on the bottom. Whatever you got to do on your entry, see the bottom. So you're only 16. Has there been anything yet that has stuck in your brain, like somebody told you that's helped you?
One thing that I've been really taking in is definitely like moving to Italy and like living by myself without like none of my family's with me. I'm living there straight by myself, and I have to make sure I do all my schoolwork. I'm at the gym, and I have a healthy diet. That's probably the biggest thing that I'm looking at right now.
You know, probably 20 years ago, everybody really started working out, and we started looking at all the Formula One drivers, just chiseled, fit, straight. Now all the power suits fit like skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, you cannot have a belly, right?
No, they'll just make fun of you over there. They'll just make fun of you over there.
No bellies.
No bellies.
Yeah.
That's why you don't really want to run the belt, because then like when you tighten the belt, it just makes your stomach like, yeah, you don't want that.
That is so awesome. Yeah, because now it's transferred over to NASCAR. Tony Stewart's always had a belly, and he would kick your butt. You couldn't make fun of Tony Stewart because he always had a belly.
Yeah.
When I first started racing, you know, my dad was a good local racer, but he won all the time. So I saw that environment. You know, I kind of started absorbing my dad winning all the time. So it's like, but my family mentored me, but then a guy named Dick Trickle taught me everything, all these little idiosyncrasies. So you're young, but do you have any mentors?
Definitely someone I take in mind is Max Verstappen.
Oh.
I really look up towards him just because like his mindset, and
Wow.
he's like a champion's mindset. It's like he's just fully on himself, and he's like how he can be the best. And then yeah, I'm helping my little brother as well. Whenever he has a couple questions for me, I'll just be straight up and tell him what he needs, and like even help him before the race, like, hey, like you need to do this if you want that to happen, you know?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oliver's your little brother.
He is.
Max Verstappen. Wow. That's pretty awesome. You can really hand the baton off to your brother. You think you outrace your brother?
I mean, the goal has always been like, if one of us is not racing an IndyCar in the same league together, like maybe one day I'll be racing an F1, he'll be an IndyCar, and we have to win the same day.
Oh my gosh.
That'd be so cool.
That would be awesome, yeah. When do you have fun?
Whenever I'm not in the race car, I have fun.
Good. That's very philosophical.
Like, for instance, I have some of my friends down in St. Pete as well, like that we hang out with, and like we're always having fun there. And like, I really like when I have friends that aren't friends with me just because I race cars for a living as well. Like,
I really like that, because I wished I was as smart as you, because I made a lot of mistakes where I had friends that, you know, they weren't good friends. You know, you always trying to get me in trouble. Hey, let's go out and drink some beer, you know. And it's like, oh, I really don't want to. I'm tired. Oh, come on, Wallace. So I think that's awesome that you surround yourself. Now, I do that to this day, but it took me to be 61 years old to make sure I surround myself with positive mental attitude. Friends that make me grow. Sebastian, it was really cool hanging out with you. I'm a big fan of yours now.
Thank you. Same with me.
We had fun, didn't we?
We had a ton of fun.
Yeah, so thank you to New Smyrna Speedway.